Good evening and welcome to Match of the Day special. 60 minutes of non-stop sporting action and excitement with two First Division matches, the Goal of the Month competition. Later we'll see a game of last chance for Stoke to begin a miraculous survival run and for Arsenal to remain in the title race.
Dyson, Berry! Goalkeeper did really well.
But we kick off with league leaders Everton against Southampton at the Dell, historically not the happiest of hunting grounds for the Toffee men. Your commentator, John Motson.
The country's most consistent team put their record at stake on what for them is a notoriously unlucky ground. Because although Everton have yet to lose a match in 1985, they haven't won here at the Dell for 13 years and they've been beaten on their last 7 visits. They have Paul Bracewell back after hamstring trouble, but Kevin Sheedy is still out and hopes to play at Spurs on Wednesday. The substitute is Paul Wilkinson, this week's £250,000 acquisition from Grimsby. Southampton are still without the injured Nick Holmes and Steve Moran, and new signing Jimmy Case serves a one-match suspension owing to bookings he collected with Brighton. So Alan Curtis returns in midfield, and there's a chance up front for George Lawrence. And a striking comparison between the two goalkeepers. England's Peter Shilton, is he still the best in the business? Against Neville Southall, whose clean sheet for Wales against Scotland on Wednesday was his 11th in his last 17 games. David Axel of Southend is the man in charge. On a pitch made heavy by torrential rain this morning, it's Southampton in the red and white who start the match playing from the right, hoping to get last week's heavy defeat at Spurs out of their system. Everton are unbeaten in their last 16 matches and are wearing the blue shirts as usual. Goal mouths very muddy. That was Lawrence. Ratcliffe's clearance to Bracewell, but a corner. Bracewell's back pass, not finding Southall. Andy Gray having to go back to defend. I would imagine he's aware of the threat of Mark Wright. Oh, and Southall missed that and Lawrence came in. But there was a foul on the goalkeeper. And the goal which Southampton were hoping for has not been awarded. When Neville Southall came in the crowd, he was impeded in the referee's view. So it's a free kick and not a goal. Reed, Richardson. Vandenhouwe's header. Whitlock for Southampton. This is Curtis. Wallace. That's useful. Mark Dennis. And Bond coming in. My word, that was close. It was a superb effort, but it would be fair too to give credit there to Neville Southall, because that was an instant header and it was also a fine save. One of many that Southall has made this season. His reactions close to a goal like that, a hallmark of his form this season. Jordan's coming in, Ratcliffe stopped him, Stephen was there too. Good cross again by Mark Dennis. And Jordan was the target. Laurie McMenemy aware that his side have not scored the goals at home this season that they have in the past. Only 16 here at the Dell in 14 games in the First Division. Here's Stevens. And his near namesake, Trevor Stevens. And Stephen again, back into Reed. Stevens. Richardson coming in behind Mills here. Good header too. And Stephen. And Shilton saves Southampton. Richardson in the first place beat Mills for the header. That came back off the crossbar, but what good reactions from Shilton to the follow-up shot by Trevor Stephen. So already we've seen both goalkeepers proving just how good they are. Brandon Howe. That came to Mountfield. Jordan was back defending. Here's Reed. And here's Bracewell. Hit right. And it's a tackle from behind by Kevin Ratcliffe on Danny Wallace. Stephen. And Sharp beat Mick Mills. And he's got Richardson coming in from the far side, completely unmarked. And Everton there had a golden opportunity to take the lead. The reason being that Graham Sharp slipped Mick Mills, and on the far side he spotted Kevin Richardson in a fine position, and Richardson will want to forget that shot. Vanden Howe played that nicely, got it back from Bracewell, and then was fouled by Lawrence. Vanden Howe. So often in recent times we've seen Everton gain a grip on the match in the midfield area and then produce a goal as a result. Here's Ratcliffe. Header out by Dennis. Long ball forward by Armstrong. On by Gray. And Armstrong's back pass falling short. Sharp hits the post. And a corner. Armstrong relieved. It was his mistake. Graham Sharp jabbed the ball past Peter Shilton, but it trickled agonisingly against the post. Corner to Everton. Here's Stevens. The two clearest opportunities of the half have fallen to Everton, and that second one to their top scorer, Graham Sharp. 24 goals this season. He forced the ball past the England goalkeeper, but was unlucky enough to see it come back off the post. Curtis. And now Gray saw his chance to turn and find Richardson. Bracewell. Intercepted by Lawrence, and he's got Danny Wallace through and onside. He foxed the keeper, but he took it too far wide and hit the side netting. Other First Division teams believe your best chance against Everton is to catch them a little square, or maybe one against one at the back. Usually Ratcliffe is so quick, but that pass from Lawrence put Wallace clean through. Southall came out to make it difficult. Wallace went round him, but took the ball too wide. And so at half-time, there's no score. That was Southampton's best chance. Everton, by comparison, had two clean, inviting opportunities, but failed to take them. So the team chasing the treble, for whom Graham Sharp hit the post and Kevin Richardson blazed over, are level at half-time against the home side chasing a UEFA Cup place. What a challenging time lies ahead for Everton. Wednesday they play at Tottenham in a crunch match in this Canon Championship. Then at home to Sunderland next Saturday, then away to Bayern Munich in Europe. Laurie McMenemy would love to be there, I'm sure, with Southampton, but they were knocked out earlier on this season. And then the FA Cup semi-final for Everton the following Saturday against Luton Town. It's Gary Stevens. Gray and Sharp switching positions up front. Here's Sharp. Mountfield. Stephen to Sharp. This is Stevens. Stephen did well there. Lovely run. Sharp. Oh, and Richardson. He's made up for the chance he missed in the first half, Kevin Richardson, and he has put Everton in front. But so much of the credit down to Trevor Stephen. A twisting run from the right-hand side opened up things in the penalty area. Graham Sharp shot parried by Shilton, and Richardson on hand to score. 4 minutes into the second half. The side who began the day as the First Division leaders take the lead. Richardson only playing because Kevin Sheedy is still injured, but the fans don't mind that if he scores. Jordan looking for Armstrong. Stevens. Gray with the header, and Richardson's there again, his second! Shilton on the ground, but a nightmare moment for Mick Mills, really. When the ball came in, Mills hesitated, Richardson didn't, and that's 2-0. So, 6 minutes gone in the second half, and Everton are 2 goals ahead. And that's championship-type football to come out for the second half and take such a firm grip on the proceedings. And it's given Southampton an awful lot now to make up. Here's Gray. Reed. I want to point out that Everton had a 2-goal lead against Southampton in the match at Goodison Park earlier in the season, and the final score was 2-2, so all is not lost here for the Saints, not by a long way. Stevens. Gray's hovering on the far post, and Bond got ahead to it. And Jordan chasing Mountfield and Southall, and Lawrence! And did Ratcliffe handle it? Penalty. Lawrence aimed for the empty goal. Ratcliffe put his arm up, but did he actually make contact? The referee said yes. It's a penalty for handball to Southampton. It was Lawrence's shot. It was Ratcliffe's arm that went out, and a penalty has been awarded. Ratcliffe is protesting his innocence. He put the arm out, but he's getting booked, in fact, as well now. And the referee has moved the ball back onto the spot, which only was repainted, in fact, just before the kickoff because of all the mud there. But Armstrong now seems happy with the placement. It's an unnerving moment for him. Too unnerving. Often happens when a player is made to delay for so long in taking a penalty. He has too long to think about it, and Southall will agree that that was not the most difficult save he's had to make. It reminded me of the one he made at Old Trafford from Gordon Strachan the other week. But look at that, Mark Dennis reacting off the ball on Trevor Steven. I think Steven probably fell on the railings. Mr. Axel has decided that a word of warning is sufficient on this occasion. And a substitution by Southampton. Alan Curtis comes off and Eamon Collins comes on. And now Southampton player Armstrong has gone down after a heavy challenge. And it's hotting up here with a vengeance. Richardson for Everton. Reed. And a booking now for Kevin Bond for the challenge on Sharp. Now Southampton have just brought their substitute on. How ironic that is, that the injury should happen within seconds of the number 12 being used. So if Armstrong goes off, they'll have to play with 10 men. Those supporters thrilled to bits with the way Everton are maintaining the challenge for 3 trophies. Bracewell, Everton wins so many of those 50-50 challenges in the middle of the field. Stevens now. Jordan. Collins. But Mountfield won it. Bracewell looking for Gray. Lawrence. Wallace on the right. Southampton have got players streaming in from the other side if Wallace can get it in. Corner, but they would have preferred an early cross. Bond was there, Jordan was there. So close. Bond got the first touch and Joe Jordan threw himself at it for the second header, and it went very close to the post, but not close enough for Jordan. Most of the breaks at this stage are going the way of Everton. This could be the moment when Paul Wilkinson makes his first appearance in an Everton shirt. Signed this week from Grimsby in the biggest of the deals leading up to the transfer deadline. Only 20 years old. And it's going to be his Everton debut as Graham Sharp comes off. Nice time to come on in a way when your team are leading 2-0. Reed. Very much the motorman again today for Everton. He's found Wilkinson. Armstrong. Richardson going into 2 tackles. Mills forward. Stevens. Oh, he slipped a bit there. And Joe Jordan. And a goal for Southampton in stoppage time. Joe Jordan got it. After Stevens didn't quite manage what he intended and finished up on the ground, and Jordan just pushed it past Southall, and Southampton get a goal back and wonder just how much longer there is on the referee's watch. They have already played 2 minutes of stoppage time, but that's made something of a contest of it. And the Everton supporters whistling now. Reed. Stevens. Stephen. But the Jordan goal came too late to stop Everton burying their 13-year hoodoo here at the Dell. Their first victory here since April 1972, thanks to 2 goals in 3 minutes early in the second half by Kevin Richardson. Everton extend their unbeaten run to 17 matches without defeat, despite the late reply by Joe Jordan. And another impressive collective performance by the team chasing 3 titles. On the play, they were worthy winners. Southampton 1, Everton 2.
Ominous points for Everton there, particularly as Spurs lost at home to Villa and Manchester United and Liverpool play tomorrow.
I like an apple. I like a square cut. I like a funny car. I like a monster truck. Color popping, I'm funding stomach. Cocoa mop, I stop nothing. Plummet, what I stop if I eat the crocodile.
Which treasured Russian icon is offering you the chance to win the luxurious lifestyle of the Tsars? Clearly, Smirnoff.
For most of us, the thought of moving our current account from one bank to another fills us with dread. So here's an idea. Why not make it really easy? Switch to Abbey and everything could be taken care of for you. Your direct debits, your standing orders. We could match your overdraft limit. And to prove the grass really could be greener, we'll also give you an excellent interest rate of 6% AER. Call 0800 80 80 80 or visit your local branch. Abbey, more ideas for your money.
You can have an inexpensive Christmas, a more relaxing Christmas, a bigger family Christmas. Because not only is every sofa and corner group in the DFS Winter Collection half price, but it's guaranteed to be in your home in time for a comfy Christmas. There's 4 years free credit and nothing to pay for the first year. Think new sofa for Christmas, think DFS.
Thai food, so fragrant and light. Go east, an exotic delight. Go east.
Hello.
Daddy's home.
What have you been up to? Hey, have you been learning to spell? Paleontology.
Whatever your plans, you can be confident AXA and your financial advisor can help bring them to life. Be life confident.
Hello.
The new Walkman phone collection from Sony Ericsson.
What are you afraid of? ESPN Classic presents England versus New Zealand in association with Guinness. Tonight at 11 on ESPN Classic. Dead good sport.
As for Arsenal at Stoke, their fading title hopes rested on the turn of the potter's wheel and the judgment of a distinguished referee. Your commentator is Barry Davis.
Peter Willis, recently retired from the police force, president of the Referees Association, all set for his first match since being chosen as this year's FA Cup final referee. And today, in rather different circumstances from Wembley, he meets two captains, Sammy McElroy of Stoke City and Graham Rix of Arsenal, who have thoughts not so much of hope as of avoiding disappointment. At least Bill Asprey, Stoke City's manager, has for a change nearly a full squad to pick from. And his 12 contains 3 20-year-olds and 2 teenagers, and marks the return of one not quite so young, Alan Hudson, who's been out with injury since the beginning of February. He plays, of course, against one of his old clubs, and Arsenal come here looking to improve upon their poor away form, which has seen them slip to an outsider's position at best in the championship race. Their one change is Brian Torbert's return in place of the injured Stuart Robson at number 7. Well, Stoke City supporters have been reminding me that there was once an occasion when Stoke City against Arsenal was on Match of the Day, and Stoke put 5 goals past one Bob Wilson. It shows that there is still hope amongst the home supporters in spite of their team's position. They've been propping up the First Division virtually all season, and they're 19 points adrift of safety. And they're attacking the goal to our left as we look. In possession, Chris Masqueray. And at the end of it, a goal kick. John Lukic. Arsenal with 3 forward. Ball comes to Williams in midfield, then to Rix. Caton. Kenny Sansom. 49th cap in midweek. Another goalkeeper is Barry Siddall. They've used 5 players in that position this season. O'Leary, Dodd, Anderson. Taken again by Berry. Raphael Mead being watched by Dyson. Nicholas, Sansom, Graham Rix. Mariners come away for it. There's a hand there from Bould. And here's Viv Anderson. Denied by Chris Masqueray. Bit of pushing going on from Barry Siddall, trying to get through the crowd. Nicholas, worth the try. Was deflected for the corner. Suddenly it's pouring with rain. And Siddall struggling to get there. It's just pouring off the roofs and off the top of certain heads. O'Leary. Quite what he intended, surely. Heath. Wanted to play it into the gap. I don't know why McElroy didn't move slightly further forward, but here's Dodd. It's got stuck. Real impatience from the crowd. McElroy. It's really a gift for O'Leary, or should have been. Heath, Bould, got deflected by Sansom. Turned away by Tommy Caton. Appeals for handball. The referee shakes his head. The home crowd are loving this. Only seen 1 goal in the last 10 matches from their team. There were certainly opportunities there, and Arsenal a little lucky to survive. Painter, the top scorer, takes the corner. Out by Mariner. Parkin, Hudson, Heath, instant cross, well claimed. Nice move on the right though between Young and not so young. Instant cross by Heath. And a very good claim from the oncoming bowled by John Lukic. Anderson, Nicholas. Good, true, well-struck back pass. Heath. Williams. Stake by Nicholas. Heath. Going strongly. And I think the free kick has been given. Up to that point, it was rather well played by Graham Ricks. All by one coming from the far post. The man on the near is bowled. Dyson. Berry! Goalkeeper did really well. Seemed so simple as the ball came to Berry on the far post, the side footer, but John Lukic was at him so quickly and was able to parry. Won by Anderson. Stoke ball. Hudson. Dodd. It's still oh, well played. He can still switch it to bowl, and he does so in the end. Some unlooked for neatness of footwork from Paul Dyson. Mascari. Alan Dodd. Hudson. Arsenal have all back bar two. Painter. Hudson. And it's still in. Well, neatly done, McElroy. Good save. Oh, a bit of vintage stuff from two international players. McElroy has won many more caps than Alan Hudson. It was Hudson's cheek which originally set up the chance. And then McElroy with the curler, which John Lukic tipped over the top. Pleasing moment, which produces the corner. Dyson with a back header, away by Anderson. Mead. Oh, foul by Mascari. Referee plays the advantage. Nicholas. On for Paul Mariner. Ricks coming far side. Talbot there as well, and Bowl puts it away for the corner. Caton. Talbot. Well, Stoke City come off to good applause. And all things are relative, but certainly after a nervous start, there is reason for hope amongst their supporters that this could produce their third victory of the season. Arsenal started well, but then found that the team at the bottom of the table were giving them quite a few problems. Well, the sign at the corner of the ground looks rather lonely, but at least the sunshine is shining on it briefly this afternoon. Stoke away at the start of the second half. searching for what would be their 19th goal in the league this season. 2 wins from 31 games, 7 draws. Handball, but it was surely accidental. Good challenge by Ricks. Nicholas, nicely done. Then he met Dyson, and Heath chasing, needs the first time, and the referee says penalty. Challenged by David O'Leary. Well, he was only ever going to get in a shot then, Heath, if he hit it first time, because 2 men were coming at him, but he was determined to go on. O'Leary tackled from Heath's right side, and the cup final referee said penalty. The ball placed on the spot by Ian Painter. Would be his 8th, would be Stoke's 19th. And it's both. Rapturous applause around the Victoria ground. Oh, John Lukic parried, but the ferocity of the shot carried the ball on. And one can understand the feeling with which the Stoke supporters are singing 1-0. Too many opportunities to do so during the course of the season. Away by Berry, uncomfortably. McElroy. Oh, he's given it straight to Ricks. Header by Berry. And it's all a bit hectic, frenetic, noisy, but for the home side, enjoyable. Stoke City with only 10 men on the field. It's Paul Dyson who's gone up for attention. Much to the consolation of his manager, shouting from behind me. Not a good moment to lose a centre-half when you've just gone a goal up. Because that's when the hatches need to be battened down even more securely. But they've survived that moment, following Painter giving Stoke City the lead. Just onside, according to the linesman. Oh, and he did well, actually. Again, it had to be the first-time shot. He just couldn't keep it down enough. And Lukic very unhappy with the cover he's getting, I imagine. As Painter broke free on the right, I must say it looked very, very tight as far as being offside was concerned, but the linesman was absolutely level. And the first-time shot going over the top. Asprey sitting in his seat on the stand. Stoke City manager. Few, I think, would swap places with him. It's been a very hard job this season. Indeed, it's cost him his health at one stage. Came off Dodd. And the ball hitting the arm and not the other way around, said the referee. Great chance of handball against Parkin. The ball certainly came up off the ground. And the referee was looking in on the incident, and I'm sure was right. Nicholas with the corner. O'Leary couldn't get a smell of it and was unlucky not to keep it in. But setting an example of determination which Arsenal will need. The championship hopes have been written off by most people other than themselves, but they need to keep going if they're to gain a place in Europe next season. Painter, free kick against Caton, who will be booked. Well, there have been 1 or 2 rasping challenges since the goal was scored by Painter in the 54th minute. McElroy. Good dummy by Hudson, good turn by McElroy. Dyson! Lovely goal. And Dyson able to get through the 6-yard box, almost unmolested. Certainly surprised Tommy Caton. So everything going Stoke City's way. And Arsenal waiting to make their substitution. Ian Allinson, the player to come on. And he replaces Raphael Mead. Well, the crowd is only a little over 7,000. But they will be able to say that they were here when Stoke won, if the situation doesn't change. That's not a bad ball if it gets the touch on. What good play, but he's got to get through the mud. Heath wants it back. The angle's not good, but what a good try. One end to the other. Started by Hudson and involving Painter and Heath. And ending with a shot just over the angle. Dyson. Williams. Well collected. A good challenge between Anderson and Berry. Nicholas. Dyson. Sansom. Dodd. Hudson. Bowles. Stoke ball. Well, certainly not Don Howe's afternoon or Arsenal's. The first goal coming from Ian Painter from the penalty spot in the 54th minute, his 8th of the season and 4th penalty. And 7 minutes later, Paul Dyson ensuring that Stoke City, for a change, have 3 points. Here's the man of the match, Simon McElroy. He had an able lieutenant in Alan Hudson. And of the youngsters, Philip Heath certainly impressed in a 2-0 victory for the home side.
Well done, Stoke City. Where there's life, there's hope. As for Arsenal, there's enough of their supporters telling them what's wrong without me adding to the misery. Once again, though, they've proved money doesn't bring happiness.
Well, that win by Everton at Southampton was made all the more important by the surprise defeat of Spurs at home to Aston Villa, and how Spurs need to beat Everton now in their match at White Hart Lane on Wednesday. Paul Rideout and Mark Walters did the damage for Aston Villa with a goal in each half, and that defeat led Peter Shreeves, the Spurs manager, to say the Everton game is now the be-all and end-all of our season. Graham Roberts will be back after suspension on Wednesday, while Everton are hopeful that Kevin Sheedy, replaced today by 2-goal Kevin Richardson, will be fit for selection after a thigh injury. Well, Everton take a 3-point lead to Spurs next week, and that's with a game in hand. Manchester United will move within a point of Spurs if they can win at Liverpool tomorrow. At the bottom, Stoke are still 10 points behind Ipswich, despite the win over Arsenal there, and Ipswich are in serious trouble too, after losing at Luton. The second division leaders, Manchester City, surrendered a 2-goal lead and 2 points against the bottom club Cardiff, and Oxford's win over Grimsby with a last-minute goal leaves them just 2 points behind with 3 games in hand. Birmingham, Blackburn and Leeds won today, while Portsmouth drew. Bradford's lead in Division 3 is 7 points after their 1-0 win over Plymouth, while Hull City, 3-1 winners at Cambridge, move into second place ahead of Millwall, who played last night. Chesterfield are back on top in Division 4. They beat Wrexham 2-1 to go a point clear of Bury. Blackpool move into 4th place with their win over Peterborough. Only one game played in the Scottish Premier Division today because of the snow, but it was an important one. Aberdeen beating Dundee United 4-2 to go 8 points clear at the top.
There's a chance to win now in the March Goal of the Month competition, and I'll remind you how to enter in a moment. But first, a look at the goals, starting with goal A, scored by Jesper Olsen for Manchester United against Everton.
McGrath, and now Brazil. Onside, good turn, brilliant. Olsen, deflection, goal! Jesper Olsen for Manchester United.
Goal B, scored by Bobby Campbell for Bradford City against Gillingham.
Abbott. Hawley. Hendry. Cross was almost made for him. It is made for him. Oh, what a finish by Bobby Campbell.
Goal C, scored by Paul Allen for West Ham United in the FA Cup at Manchester United.
Still West Ham won't give it up. Paul Allen in well here. What a good finish.
Goal D, scored by Kevin Sheedy for Everton in the FA Cup against Ipswich Town.
George Burley coming forward. The ball's been taken slightly further back, and Gates is complaining about that. Well, that makes a change. Sheedy again, goes for the other side. Brilliant! Absolutely brilliant!
Goal E, scored by Romeo Zondervan for Ipswich Town in the same match.
Cranston bowling up the hill. Butcher did well. Zondervan! Lovely goal!
Goal F, scored by Derek Mountfield for Everton in the same match.
Reed. Yes, he's made the gap. Vanden Hauwe. Yes! Mountfield has done it!
Goal G, scored by Frank Stapleton for Manchester United at West Ham United.
And Stapleton was arriving there, and my word, that's a good header. A classic Frank Stapleton goal.
Goal H, scored by Paul Walsh for Liverpool against FK Austria.
Here's Hansen. And again, Kennedy seeing his chance to get forward. Good ball. And Walsh! Beautifully taken and beautifully made.
And here's a check on those goals. Goal A, Jesper Olsen. B, Bobby Campbell. C, Paul Allen. D, Kevin Sheedy. E, Romeo Zondervan. F, Derek Mountfield. G, Frank Stapleton. And H, Paul Walsh. And here's how to enter. You put your name and address on the left-hand side of a postcard, please, and your goal selection in 1, 2, 3 order on the right-hand side. We'll be back next Saturday at 10:30 with another instalment in the Canon League drama. Good night.